Hey, we're Lauren and Steven, and this is our tiny camper van.
It may look a little cozy, but we lived comfortably in this thing for 7 months straight on a trip to every single national park in the United States. And we've actually driven it from our home in Florida all the way to Alaska and back again twice.
We're going to show you what made us choose a compact van over something bigger like an RV. And then we'll go over our easy conversion process that works on any van, which we did ourselves for under $500 in just a few hours.
When you see how simple it is, you'll probably wonder things like, where do you go to the bathroom? Where do you shower? And do you have to do those two things in the same place? We'll share those super fun facts and all our dirty van life secrets, including how we park and sleep for $0 every night.
To top it all off, we'll tally up the repairs we've had to do in the first 220,000 miles and show you just how much money the van has actually saved us over the last 6 years.
The reason we wanted a camper in the first place was for this crazy idea we had to visit every US national park in a single trip. There were around 60 parks at the time, and it was gonna take us 7 months total. Side note, if you're just wondering how we got that much time off work and how we even paid for a 7-month vacation, bookmark our blog for later and subscribe to our channel. It explains exactly how we made all that stuff happen financially. Anyway, 7 months of hotels would have been over $20,000 without even including a vehicle. And sleeping in a tent for 7 months straight sounded miserable. So a camper felt like a happy medium. But if you go shopping for RVs, you'll immediately find out that even just renting one can cost more than hotels. And then you still have to pay for campsites with hookups every night and an obscene amount of gas. The way most people do RV camping is actually ridiculously expensive. So we got creative. Rather than looking at huge, costly, pre-made campers, we shopped Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace for any cargo van that we could convert into a camper ourselves. We focused on reliability, fuel efficiency, and price. Instagram worthiness was not important. After about 1 day of looking, we brought an envelope stuffed with $12,300 cash to some random dude who owned a music store, and we went home with a 2013 Nissan NV200. It was about 6 years old with 51,000 miles on it at the time. That was more than double what either of us had ever spent on any vehicle, but compared to 20 grand in hotels, it felt like a steal. Especially because we could just sell the van at the end of our trip and recoup most of that money if we wanted to. Little did we know though, we were about to fall in love with van life.
Next up was the actual conversion process, which I'm gonna be honest with you, we did in pretty much the laziest way possible, but we have no regrets about that. Sometimes simple is all you need. Let's get a couple minor things out of the way first. We put in a $10 backseat organizer to give us quick access to small items. We also put in a $50 floor-mounted power inverter, which gives us AC outlets and is easiest to install with the van empty. We hooked it up directly to the car battery so it would work even with the van turned off, and fused it there because safety first. Now the big stuff. Using $100 worth of wood from Lowe's and a few screws, Steven and his stepdad built this wooden platform sized to fit the entire cargo area in about an hour flat. It features 4 storage quadrants accessible from the van's 4 rear doors. We also bought a $10 set of battery-powered tap lights and stuck one on each quadrant for those dark nights in the woods. Next comes the single most important item in the entire van, the bed, and I have strong opinions on this. Some van lifers create space-saving beds out of foam blocks or settle for folding bench beds or some other clever hack. Don't fall for this stuff. The main reason your camper van exists in the first place is so you can sleep in it. Get yourself a real mattress, no compromises. We bought a brand new, full-size Allswell brand hybrid mattress for $285, with a coupon of course. It's super comfortable and we needed it to be since we were planning to sleep on it for 7 months straight. By the way, we've put links to all these things and more van life essentials in the video description, so be sure to check that out. Now, you might have noticed that this leaves pretty much no room for anything else in the van, and you're right. After a few hours and just $455, we're done. There's no shower, no toilet, no kitchen, and no place to stand upright. But none of that matters because we have some pretty cheap and clever van life secrets to share with you to handle each of those problems perfectly.
Listen, everybody thinks van life is about living in a van, but that's completely backward. The goal is just to eliminate your lodging expenses by sleeping in a van. You should still be doing all your living out in the world. That's the whole point of travel. We're not worried about having a place to hang out in here because between the hours spent driving and sleeping every day, we're trying to spend as little additional time inside this thing as possible. We'd rather cook in the great outdoors or try a new restaurant than pay for a giant RV and all the extra gas needed to lug a kitchen around with us. And we'd rather mingle with locals in a nearby coffee shop or library than sit and work alone in a metal box. Once you realize every town is filled with parks, public spaces, and local businesses that you can use cheaply or for free, you'll abandon the idea that you need a big self-sustaining fortress on wheels. For example, when we need a shower, we stop at one of the 2,500 Planet Fitness locations in the US. Lauren has a Black Card membership, which costs $30 a month and lets her bring a guest with her on every visit for free. So I don't even need my own membership. That means we're paying about 50 cents a shower while traveling, while also getting access to a gym. Honestly, onboard bathrooms are overrated too. I mean, why would you want to deal with collecting and dumping your own waste when there's a public bathroom around every corner? Not only are there over 150,000 gas station convenience stores in the US, most of which are 24/7, but every park, library, grocery store, and fast food joint has bathrooms you can use for free too. We're rarely more than 5 minutes from a toilet. By the way, eliminating the kitchen, shower, and bathroom from your camper saves you way more than just the initial cost of the RV and the extra gas to drive a big rig. It also completely eliminates the need for paid campsites with water and electricity hookups and dumping stations. That's between $30 to $90 per night. All we do in our van is sleep, so all we need is a parking spot, nothing else. In the wilderness, we can camp legally in national forests, on BLM land, or other locations we find on freecampsites.net and ioverlander.com. Let's be real though, it's not always nature. When we're passing through cities and towns, we often spend the night at truck stops, rest areas, or occasionally in big retail parking lots like Walmart or Cracker Barrel. A lot of casinos even offer free overnight parking too. And since our tiny setup looks just like a regular work van, nobody really even knows we're sleeping inside. This helps us blend in while we're urban camping.
With all these hacks combined, our nightly lodging expenses are practically zero. Life on the road often costs less than living at home, especially since we rent out our house for income while we're on long trips. Here's how much value we've gotten out of our van compared to what we would have paid traveling the traditional way with a car and hotels. Over the last 6 years, we've spent over 400 nights in our van, and we've almost never paid for a single campsite. If we were staying in mediocre hotels instead, it would cost over $40,000. But in fairness, we've also had to maintain our Planet Fitness membership for the majority of that time, costing us around $1,500 for showers and gym access. Amazingly, in driving our van from an odometer reading of 51,000 miles to 220,000 miles, it's only needed $1,400 in actual repairs, including a busted AC compressor, a replacement control arm, a new ignition coil, and a few other small things, in addition to regular maintenance like fluid changes and tires. But let's assume we would have had the same good luck with any car. If our hypothetical car got somewhere around the same 26 miles per gallon as our van, it'd need the same amount of gas too. And in both cases, you'd still have to pay for the vehicle itself, although our van did require an extra $455 conversion process to make it livable. By the way, just to be clear, the cost of our van wasn't in addition to a car we already owned. For the past 6 years, our van has been our only vehicle, shared between the two of us. Since it's so small and fuel efficient, it's worked great as a daily driver even when we're not traveling. This is another huge financial advantage of using a tiny cargo van as a camper. It actually replaces your car. And believe it or not, driving a big rig RV is usually even more expensive than the car and hotel option shown here. Anyway, as you can see, our style of camper van life absolutely destroys traditional travel when it comes to finances.
That's why when our 2013 NV200 finally started dying of a low compression engine cylinder this year, we didn't hesitate to just buy a 2021 model of the exact same van. We moved our stuff over and we got right back to van life again. So don't worry, we'll still see you out there. If you like this kind of stuff, don't forget to subscribe or follow along on your favorite social media platform.